Hey friends, I'm sorry to miss you today. This is not a live stream, but I hope you will sit and sew with me a little while. I am finishing up Clue 5 that I started last week for the Flyway mystery quilt. And this has been a fun journey. We are halfway through our 10 clues and it's been a grand adventure. I am off camping this week, but we'll return next Wednesday for our regular live stream. Happy quilting. The kissing triangles. There's my second one. And we made the square in a square units. And then I have all of my half square triangles, and I am just double checking my pressing instructions, and different than I expected. Oops, that one was where my thread had run out. So let me get these other guys all pressed according to the instructions. And like I said, with these mystery quilts, you can't really predict which way things are going to go. So even though I would prefer to press to the dark fabric, I am following my instructions to press towards fabric D, which happens to be these lighter polka dots. And we are going to be putting these polka dots together in a pinwheel. And some people think that it doesn't matter. I usually don't care which direction my pinwheels go, but we want these to all be oriented the way that the pattern designer intended. So I am going to lay those out that way and sew. I apologize again for teasing everybody with Clue 5 last week, starting to sew a little bit before the clue was released. I forgot that they tell us right in our little fabric guide and with some important dates, so you can always see the shipping dates and when they will email the clues to you. So, you know, my error, they are not double checking my information, but they tend to ship out on the first Friday of the month. And if you have paid for your full kit at the beginning, you still have everything packaged by clue, and so then you'll get an email on the first Friday of the month with those instructions. And I really hope you join me for the Under the Sea mystery, which will kick off in August or September. Sign-ups are going on now. And we will have a lot of fun with those. Of course, always. So I've got that ready to this time we want to press to the dark, so that's good. The way quilters like to do things. Okay, and then I can make my pinwheel unit with nested seams. Pop that seam to get those guys going different directions. It's to buckle a little bit, so we'll just keep zapping it with the iron until it behaves. Okay, so now we can put our two components together following the diagram. We're first going to take our two pinwheels and put these together with these fabrics matching, so that kind of extends the blades of the pinwheel. We're going to be pressing towards the pinwheel. Okay, so when I'm pinning a square and a square to another unit, you can line up the tip of that fabric, it makes a little square there where the seams cross. You can line that up right with the seam line on your pinwheel block and get that right straight in line. And I'm off just a hair. I want to keep that with the square and the square on top so I can make sure that that hits right in line where it's supposed to. And I'm aiming my needle right for the seams of that square and a square block, so it goes right under that point and nothing gets chopped off. And then we are going to pivot this one so that that dark triangle is there, and then our kissing triangles are going to come this way. So these two dark triangles are kind of next to each other. They're neighbors, not touching, but neighbors. And then we can make sure that we've got all these other corners according to the diagram. And again, I will put my square and a square fabric on top so I can watch that seam line. So the first pair we want to press to the pinwheels. Second set, we want to press to these kissing triangles. Keep forgetting to take some of these pins out. Okay, and then we can put this component together. We want the kissing blocks on top and that section on the bottom, and again these two fabrics are on the same side of the line, and we're looking pretty cool. So let me get my other pair set the same way and nest those seams. We've actually got 2 additional places that we can match up. That square and a square seam should go right along the seam of your pinwheel block, and this seam for our 4-patch kissing triangles should also come right up through the seam of our square and a square, so we can get all of those points matched up. Ooh, that fabric doesn't look like it lined up very well. Let's oh, not too bad. I was worried that I'd have too much of a scant seam there, but I've got over 1/8 of an inch of fabric, so I consider that acceptable within my margin of error. Okay, and that seam didn't get pressed all the way it wanted to, so it didn't look like it was going to nest. We'll give it a little more encouragement. See, this is what I'm worried about. I've got a jog right here between those 2 fabrics, so I definitely want to keep that in line with the shorter fabric. Remember, with these pre-cut pieces, you do not want to use a lot of starch or anything, so just get them to behave as best you can, easing things in, because they were all pre-cut to the exact size we needed, so there shouldn't be too much. Shouldn't be too far out of whack, but fabric does stretch, so handle carefully. And there we have clue 5. All done for the small Flyway puzzle mystery quilt. I love my partnership with Cotton Cuts. I'm having so much fun with these puzzle mystery quilts, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the Flyway mystery. Enjoy. If you want to see what I've been up to with my Floral States of America, you can check out those videos next.